Hi, welcome back. And today we're going to be talking about my birth plan. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Mara. I am a soon to be mom of two, which is crazy. I have a almost 3-year-old son, and we will be having our baby girl this September. My son was a C-section baby. So I went, just to give you the highlight, went into labor at like 40 weeks and 5 days ish. He was born at 41 weeks via emergency C-section. I went through full labor, all of that good stuff, pushed the whole 9 yards, and ended up with an emergency C-section. He got to a point where every time I had a contraction, his heart rate was just dropping, wasn't safe anymore. My placenta was also calcified because I was overdue. And it just was like a perfect shitstorm of situations for me to have a emergency C-section. Now, with this baby, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to try for a VBAC or what I wanted to do, and I've ultimately decided to try for a VBAC. I had my appointment last week at 28 weeks. My husband came. We met with a surgeon slash doctor, OB person, whoever, an OB that can do C sections or clear you at my OB's office. And I'm not sure if this is standard everywhere. You have to be cleared by your doctor. They have to sign a paper saying that you are eligible to try for a VBAC essentially. So they did this little calculator, did all this stuff, and my success rate for a VBAC is 61%. However, I just hired a doula today, and I just had a call with her and told her everything. And she was like, based off of that, I would say you're more like an 80 to 85% success rate. So with Teddy, I made it to I was at like a 7 when I went to the hospital, and I had no idea I was in labor. I went for my 41-week appointment, had an ultrasound. He wasn't moving, he wasn't breathing, he had no fluid, but he had heartbeat. So his APGAR, I think is what it was called, was they said a 2 if he was they were feeling generous. And then they sent me to like the regular OB to get a cervical check to send me over to be induced. And I got checked and they were like, "Yeah, so are you feeling okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm 41 weeks pregnant at the end of August. I feel terrible." And they were like, "That's because you're at a 6.5. So you need to go across the street to the hospital now." So we did. And I got to an 8.5 before I got an epidural. Was like, "This sucks. You get the same baby either way. Give me that epidural." Turns out for me that was not a good plan. I am very sensitive to epinephrine, it turns out, and Teddy did not like that. So essentially the TLDR here is all of the reasons I had my C-section were baby dependent, not dependent on me. So it wasn't like because my pelvis was small or something like that. So I am eligible for a VBAC and I want to try it. Um, a large reason of why I want to do this is because we have not closed the door on 3 kids. We'll meet this one, see what she's like, and then we'll go from there. But I don't want to close the door on that in case we do decide we want 3 kids. My husband and I are both only children, so kind of want to see if we feel like our family is complete, if we want our kids to have more siblings, all of that good stuff. Part of why I hired this doula is because I really want to try for an unmedicated VBAC, and I don't know if I can get myself there. I got myself to an 8.5, but like the difference between an 8.5 and a 10 and pushing just feels very different. And also, like, I feel like I'm going to have more of a mental barrier this time because of the situation from when I had Teddy. I feel like I will have a harder time getting myself to fully give in, to commit to that VBAC. And if I'm doing this, I want to commit to it and do it the right way. And when I say right way, there's no right way, but like the right way for me. And I truly feel that the best way for me is an unmedicated VBAC. Will I be eating crow in September? There's a strong chance, but we'll see. Plan B is a medicated VBAC. So if I really get to a point where I'm like, this sucks and I can't do it, and my doula is like, I think what would be best for you in this moment is some drugs, then we'll go with that route. But I want a doula there to tell me that. And then the final plan is a planned C-section. Um, Hopefully not an emergency C-section because we've been there once and it wasn't the most fun I've ever had in my life. Would not exactly recommend. But if I have it end up having a C-section, that's fine. Another reason why I'm hiring this doula where I'm trying for the C-section is because she does have experience with the uterine abruption, or and that's what's called uterine abruption, something like that that can happen with a C-section. So having somebody there that has experience with that and can explain it to me, knows what to look for. I can call her when I go into labor, if I go into labor before 40 weeks. That was also a thing that she said was a really good sign. I went into labor on my own. I wasn't induced, none of that good stuff. So my body like goes into labor, which is great. Um, So pretty much the only thing I did, my hospital will not do an induction for a VBAC. So the stars have to align with me going into labor on my own. Um, and I don't want to go over 40 weeks. So that'd be my reason for a C-section that is planned. With that, that is essentially my birth plan at this point. I also, part of what I love about this doula is she does a lot of pre-labor assistance. So like she'll start making recommendations like the last month of my pregnancy about what I should be doing to help my body naturally go into labor, which I tried everything under the sun with Teddy, and I didn't go into labor until after 40 weeks. So, I'd like to have a little bit more of a chance of happening before 40 weeks. So we'll see what happens there. Then she stays 2 hours postpartum, which I think will be wonderful because she's also a lactation consultant. And with Teddy, I was very unsuccessful with breastfeeding. So I love the idea of having a lactation consultant there to kind of start that journey off in the right direction. Um, I would love for it to work out this time. Originally, I was like, oh, I'll just go straight to formula, but going straight to C-section, straight to formula when that wasn't my plan with him doesn't feel fair to this baby. So I really do not want to do that. So that's kind of the plan, is to leave alive with an alive baby with ideally not abdominal surgery. That is pretty much the long and short of my birth plan. I don't really have any other requests. I don't really have any other game plan. I don't have anything I'm attached to. And that was my plan last time. So we'll see if it works out better the second time around. Stay tuned. But if you had a VBAC or you attempted a VBAC, I would love to hear from you on what that was like, what your experience was like, um, anything. So I'm all ears. Anything you did that you felt was helpful, whether it was successful or not, like any of it. I want your good, your bad, your ugly. Give me the lowdown on VBACs, and I will keep you guys posted as this progresses. I can't believe this baby is going to be here in 11 weeks. Oh, hopefully that'll be 40 weeks. So hopefully we're manifesting no more than 11 weeks. But yeah, we shall see.
Hi, little update for you. So I am now 30 weeks. This is, God, like a week and a half later, after I originally recorded that video. I decided not to hire that specific doula just due to some things that came up. And I am now still on the hunt, but I think the good thing is most of the things that I was hoping for with that doula kind of seems, I don't want to say standard, but at the people that I'm looking at and having calls with, most of them seem like they have lactation experience, and most of the people I'm speaking with, I'm specifically looking for people who have experience with VBACs. So I'll keep you posted on the doula hunt as well. Maybe I'll do another video about that, but that's where things are at. Crazy to think that in 10 weeks we're gonna have another baby. I'm starting to actually feel like very pregnant all of a sudden. So just hoping these 10 weeks kind of go by quickly and smoothly and everything's okay. I have my 30-week appointment today, and I'm going to have them sign the form for the VBAC. I didn't have them sign that last time because I wanted to like talk with Phil after our appointment. So today I will have them sign that sheet saying that I can try for a VBAC if and when we get to that point. So exciting stuff.